Hey guys, I just wanted to make a really quick video and explain what I mean by surrender. I think there's been some, mishap. So when I say surrender, so when I talk about letting go and surrendering thoughts that don't serve you, feelings that don't serve you, I talk about surrender. Here's your thought formation line. And I say surrender them right underneath, surrender them right underneath, surrender them right underneath, surrender them to your higher self, surrender them to God, surrender them to source. I just really want to clarify that when I say surrender, I am not saying surrender them to something else. Source, God, your higher self is all within you. It's all you. I'm not saying create separation during your surrender and surrender your feelings, your thoughts that you don't like to something outside of yourself. That's not what I'm saying. See, this is the ego. This is the ego creating separation in your surrender. So you see how sneaky and tricky the ego is? And I'm glad someone brought that up and said it just feels so good to surrender off to something else. And I'm like, no. You're not surrendering it to anything else. You're surrendering to yourself. The reason we're surrendering these thoughts of ego, and isn't it funny how as you surrender, the ego still has a leg up and makes you think of that you're separate from God and you're surrendering it to God. You are not separate from God. You are not separate from your higher self. You are one with all of it. So when I say surrender, I mean surrender in oneness, in unity. You are surrendering these to yourself. Why are you surrendering it? For self-realization. You are surrendering those feelings that no longer serve you so that you have cap on your mind. You know, you have the understanding with love on how your mind works, why it's thinking the thoughts it's thinking, because it's just like a movie clip happening in there. It's normally the ego just running the show, right? But when you surrender, you're not surrendering anything outside of yourself. You're not surrendering. God is not outside of you. God is within you. Consciousness is within you. Your higher self is within you. You're surrendering it to yourself. You're surrendering it to your vortex, to your field, which heals those thoughts. And through healing, when you surrender, the ego becomes less and less and less and less. But do you see how the ego makes you think that you're surrendering it to God? So God is separate from you. No, God is not separate from you. You are one with God. So when you surrender, you are surrendering for self-realization. You're surrendering to really get to the core of the thought, feeling, issue, resolve it, and dissolve the ego. This is why we are letting go. This is why we are surrendering constantly. I hope that makes sense. Love you guys.